still do 7 NUFC Matters shows for free a week. But if you want to support the channel, there are a few ways of doing it. Hit the like button on each live broadcast or video. This helps the channel grow. Hit the subscribe button and select the all notifications options. Hit the thanks button to buy a super sticker. You can do this on the live chat too. You can also join our Patreon page or buy us a coffee at the link in all of our video descriptions below. We are also looking for sponsors. If you want our latest advertising rates and how you can get involved, then email John at nufcmatters1892@gmail.com. Thanks for watching.
Hush now, city kids, gather round for urban myths. Hush now, city kids. When it came to me after so long, I didn't have no choices in the streets where I was from. When I think about the pain, I didn't have no choices. I took what I had sworn. Hush now, city kids, gather round for urban myths. Hush now, city kids. But you know, they wouldn't let you have it any other way. Stepping back from what you like, the past just pulls you back in again. Save me from myself, it just carries on, just carries on.
Good evening, welcome along to the Fans Forum on NUFC Matters. No, I'm not on the Malverno, keeping that for the weekend, but as always, we're here on a Monday night to look back at Newcastle United's last fixture and 2 wins on the trot, but we're only going to focus on the FA Cup win against Aston Villa. I'm sure the panel have got a lot to say about the game and the poor officials on the day. So without further ado, we will come to you, George. Newcastle United winning 3-1 against 10 men. The keeper did get sent off. Unbelievable, really, what we witnessed. And I do believe Mr. Kavanagh and co have been stepped down from the Premier League for their poor conduct at the weekend. But what was your feelings, George, on the matches in general and the officials?
Well, before I start football, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
You're on mute, George.
Happy birthday, dear Steve. Happy birthday to
He's
you.
back in 2020. Hey!
Thank you, George.
I bet he was want to be doing something else than talking to us.
Yeah.
Keep it for the weekend.
At least it wasn't.
I'm glad to see that I'm not the only happy clapper here this week, because
He's still going.
It's been an incredible week in lots of ways. But some of the things off the pitch have been just as important as the things on the pitch. To hear Trippier saying that they'd all got in the dressing room and sorted themselves out without Eddie Howe, they'd rattled their own cages and their own heads a little bit, and it showed, you know. And if anybody's still talking about Tonali going away in the summer, then you know, look at the way he reacted when he got that second goal, went straight across to Eddie Howe. And today I've just been watching Eddie Howe on one of the channels, and him talking about himself, what he's got to do to get more into players, and also getting somebody like Ryan Fraser, who wasn't Eddie's favourite. In fact, Eddie banned him almost, talking about the father figure that Eddie is. So I think there's been a lot of things happening off the pitch as well as on the pitch, and but it's on the pitch where we wanted to see it. And I always felt that if we could sort our heads out, especially after the Tottenham game, we always had a chance against Villa. There's something in Villa that we can catch if we're in the right mood. And the important things for me were that the two of the most dangerous players for us were McGinn and the other guy who's the forward who they got from Arsenal. Anyway, they weren't even in the squad, and that gave me a lot of hope anyway. And well, from the off, we looked like we were in more than in with a shout. It was our game as far as I was concerned. And then, of course, it doesn't matter how good you're playing. If you get an offside decision like the one that was against us to give the other side the lead, you can't calculate for things like that. It's just one of those things, and you think, well, okay, get on with it. The important thing for us was that's what they did. The heads didn't go down; they got on with it, and I've been asking for a couple of weeks. I'd like to see them showing the passion for the shirt, and I think in those last two games, and then particularly on Saturday, that's exactly what they did. When they complained about the offside, they didn't get it, but the heads didn't go down. They went straight into the game, and within a short space of time, of course, Tonali equalises. I'd said when I was on program with Steve starting of the week that I thought Tonali would come in for Bruno, and that's exactly what happened. My goodness, what a great game he had. It wasn't just good. It was incredible. Had people purring about his performance, and we need more of that. That's what you see when he plays for Italy. I'd like, and I'm glad that he's shown it for us now. However, I would say he's had one or two iffy games. I'd remind you, of course, like Mr. Wisse, not Wisse, Eranga. He's just got a new baby in the house and all that goes with that. So whether that was affecting him or not, I don't know. Well, he's back is the only way you can describe that. And some of the other stages, some of the people that have been around a while, I keep getting told Dan Burns old. Well, that second goal of Tonali's, the ball came out to Dan Burn. Dan Burn could easily have took a swing at it with his left foot to have a go himself. And what did he do? He didn't. He used his awareness. The thing you hear me complaining about quite a lot on here about how modern players don't seem to be aware of what's around them. Well, Dan Burn knew who was around them and just plopped that ball down so that Tonali didn't even need to break step. He just hit it and rifled it into the bottom corner. So they are all good things. The other good things is that, the younger ones, Hall and those that came on to fill holes, they're great. And I wonder if Eddie and his team have found the niche for Big Nick, because he was much better on Saturday, and got the goal he deserved. And again, it shows in the spirit of the team how they're so together. The Trippier thing about getting in the dressing room and talking it out themselves reminds me of the thing that happened when Rafa made Lascelles our captain after the 5-1 defeat at Leyton Orient. Lascelles asked if Rafa would lock the door of the dressing room and leave him alone in with the rest of the team, and tore them all off a strip, even the older ones, called Alan Smith a mercenary, and got them really riled up. Well, we got promotion that year. maybe Trippier's got something in mind for this year as well, with the FA Cup or even things in the Champions League. So it all of that very, very positive, and it couldn't be happier for me. The refereeing, well, there's no point in talking about it anymore, except to say that imagine how we would feel today if we hadn't won that match, and the referees organisation says he was sorry, we've suspended him. What the hell would that do us to any other team? How would you have felt then? and there's no recompense. There's no going back and saying, oh well, we'll share the points or something stupid like that. It really was a disaster, and the implications of it going like that are horrendous for all teams, not just for us. So, and I for one, yes, it does look like the referees can't referee without electronics. Well, forgive me, but I would still have the human element doing it, except for maybe the ball across the line one, which I think is very positive. But the negative ones, they take hours to get results. I still think I could do without that. But the trouble is, the referees seem crippled without it. There were 3, maybe 4 really bad incidents. But if you look through the game, Kavanagh even had a bad game with the normal play. The number of times he changed the linesman's decision for simple things like throw-ins. And why? And they were clearly the right way from the linesman, yet he changed them. And I think it was about 4 times he did that. Well, that's beyond the pale, absolutely beyond the pale. So yeah, great. I go on all night. I'm not going to, but when I was very optimistic last week and saying that I thought we would win 2-1, I really thought we might. But the goalkeeper sending off was, I think that was almost irrelevant. I think we would have won anyway. Yeah, and the Digne foul, well, when you draw blood, that's pretty serious. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Great week. Everything about it is just come to the fore. Let's hope it carries on.
Yep, good stuff, George. Rest in peace, Robert Duvall. He's just passed away. The news is just going across my screen now. 95 years of age, great actor. For those of you who are a fan of the Godfather franchise, like I am, you will know him as Tom Hagen. Also in Apocalypse Now and many, many other things. But he's just passed away. His family have just put an announcement out. So sad news. Good cowboy, yes, very good cowboy. Magnus, going on to you now, mate, and just looking back, mate. I mean, I heard you in the green room just chatting there with the lads before we came on air, saying that you didn't want to dwell too much on the officials and focus more on the football. But yeah, it was a good result, mate.
Yeah, it was fantastic, and given the first half that we're dealing with, I mean, I don't want to dwell on it, but I'm giving him absolutely 0 for his performance, Chris Kavanagh. It is after taking refereeing courses myself, he needs to just think of the main rule is just like take your time, take a breath, wait, and then make the decision. Don't make the wrong decision and then regret it. That's all I can say to him. It was an awful performance from him, and the thing that I'm mostly proud of from our lads was to not let it get to their heads, because I certainly was losing my head, and if any of my neighbors were on the alert, they probably thought cuckoo's nest was happening there, but all in all, great stuff that in one of those big incidents we end up smashing that beautiful goal from Tonali, and I've been calling for this a little bit. He's taken on a huge responsibility given Bruno is out, and we were all hoping for better contributions on the goals, and I've been calling for this because he's got a sledgehammer of shot, and he proper showed it on the day, and he took that game like Maradona and grabbed it by the scruff of the neck and changed the rhythm of it. And he has a strong part in us winning that game. Jacob Murphy was probably the only one that didn't have a good game. We all had. I feel like we got our spirits back after those two victories, and I'm feeling a lot better. This week than last week. I guess all of us are. It's good to see the togetherness. They all want to work for Eddie Howe. I never was on the wagon of anything but how to continue his great job.
Okay, good stuff, mate. Alan, Bouncy has had a better week, I presume, in your house, the cat?
Yes, he has. Although after the penalty incident, Steve, like I said to the lads in the green room, he was chasing up the stairs because I was going to turn green after that penalty incident. I was going to turn into an Incredible Hulk because I'd lost it. But yes, fantastic week we've had. 2 great results. Great to see the fans on side. Both games away from home. Lewis Hall is starting to become my player of the season. The performance is so consistent now. I do think the worry is for us going forward is Asula and Voldemort have got to play better together, but that comes with practice. Because the link-up play, that's where we're weakest, and that's where we're missing the rat, unfortunately, and it showed, because 15 minutes in the second half, we weren't opening up for that very much. But full credit to Tonali, 2 great goals. Yes, a deflection. It shows you how different fans look at it, lads, because on the Villa podcast after the game, they were saying they were in total control. And I'm thinking, I had to watch it again, the first half, and I had to watch it again. And I thought, we've had 70% possession. Yes, they've had the better chances. But the class, a 10-yard header by Bailey and a miscue kick by Barkley and an offside goal has been in total control. I thought we had possession. Yes, we didn't do much with it, like Shearer said at half-time. But I do believe throughout the game, we were the ones that bossed that game. And so I don't go along with the Villa fans who were adamant that we had most of the decisions went our way, mind, to be fair to them. But for them to say they were in total control, I disagreed with that. Apparently, thought it was very even. Going forward, lads, very good. I'll keep it a minimum with a referee because I think it was absolutely shocking. Probably the worst officialdom I've seen. For the younger viewers won't understand, since Telford Mills in the early 80s. And Brighton went on to go to the cup final that year. So it might be a lucky omen. It might not. I know they said the winners of this fixture 5 times out of 6 have went to the final and won it. So again, might be another lucky omen. Who's to say? The draw's on shortly, lads. So we'll see how it goes. But so energised by the 2 wins. The players are sticking together. We've got a lot of hard games coming up. Take one game at a time, as the cliche goes. Over the moon for Eddie Howe personally. It shows you because, like I said last week, yes, we'll have downers before the end of the season, and then everybody will be saying Eddie Howe out again. But give it to the end of the season to see how we go, because there's going to be a manager merry-go-round in the summer, lads and lasses, with all the new teams like Crystal Palace, Fulham, Man United, maybe Arsenal if they don't win the league. Like I said before, if Arsenal don't win the league, lads, Arsenal fans will want Arteta out. So it's going to be a manager merry-go-round. But overall, I let Kevin get on. Fantastic, over the moon. Rule on Karabakh on Wednesday night, which is going to be a very, very hard game because they've got a big, big European record, as much as we don't think they are. They've played over 80 games in Europe, in the European Champions League, and they're no mugs, even though they've never got as far like the quarterfinals anywhere near that. They have got European pedigree, so I just hope nobody takes them lightly, home or away. But over the Steve.
Well said, mate. Well said, Kev. Good evening. Good afternoon to you. The result was great. I mean, you know, off the back of the Spurs win to get into the 5th round of the FA Cup, you know, it's that kind of keep the season alive adage, isn't it? But it was great, back-to-back wins and away from home.
That's all you can ask for, and that's the rarity for Newcastle United win back-to-back away games, especially, you know, the pedigree of Tottenham and going to Villa, which are 2 very English traditional football clubs in their own right. So for him to do that, and for all Newcastle United fans to say he's got to find answers, do this, I've even been critical of that and looking for certain ways, and he has, and he's done that. And in the last 2 games, he's found answers in the way for us to play in certain games, and horses for courses, it's a kind of phrase, but I thought, and I don't know what the Villa fans were watching, just from what Alan said in terms of them controlling the game. I thought from minute 1 to minute 90, we controlled a lot. Yes, we didn't go. Yes, we didn't create opportunities, but the Harvey Barnes one, when he clipped the post, hit the side net, and we're finding our way within the game with this shape and system that he played. So it doesn't just happen. You have to find ways. You have to find moments of passages of play. The Baltimore drops in, who moves in certain places, who goes where. So it takes a while for the system to play out and unfold. I thought Villa were terrible, genuinely poor on the day. I think they kind of sort of hit the brick wall or reaching the ceiling to a degree where, yes, they made a lot of changes. Yes, they've got a lot of injuries, but hold on, we've got just twice as many injuries, twice as many problems as they have, but we showed up and showed what an FA Cup tie should really be about within the Premier League game type feel, and I really got that from them. They were pretty much kicking everything above grass, essentially, in my opinion. I thought they were very in your face, not too physical, but enough to where it'll just upset us, upset the rhythm. Again, the referee didn't help that, but that was more of a laugh than a comedy show than a referee performance. So I'm not touched that with a 10-foot pole. But I thought overall, like I said, we were the far dominant side in the way we played. It was very controlled, very measured in how we went about our play. I thought with the introduction of Baltimore playing in the 10 where he actually plays, made us look a little bit better and a little bit more expansive, is a phrase, because he linked play, he dropped in, he was, yes, he's not the quickest lad in the world. He's not going to give you the high intensity. He's going to win the ball in the second phase. He's going to win the ball with a knockdown, or when they try to go long out the back with his height, he's going to try and compete in those types of moments. And he'd done that. Yes, he gets into certain situations where how the world are you going to get out of this, son? But he somehow finds a way out and keeps the ball, even if it's going backwards or whatever. So I thought for him personally, and to get a goal, that's the type of performance I needed. Just overall, he played the full 90, right? Yeah, so for 90 minutes, he needed something like that where, okay, put me in a comfortable position to succeed. And he did. Yes, it might not have been stalled, and it might not have been but he needed a performance under his belt just to get a little bit of confidence. But again, and I'll jump on what George said, I thought Sandro Tonali was absolutely fabulous. Breaking up play, keeping the ball moving side to side. Sometimes, yes, he might find, I don't watch Italian football, or Italy as a whole, but you can see is a number 6. He's the link to where if it's a pass, he'll see the third or fourth pass moving forward and sitting from that deep role. He'll get it, and if it goes astray, but that pass was thought out through like 5-6 seconds earlier than before he even received it. But again, a lot of things going on in his world. So again, a good performance for him, and you can seen over the past 2 or 3 games with Tonali specifically, where he's been trying to have a lot more effort from goal outside the box. Yes, he might get underneath it, half volleys and think, because Magnus even said it, and probably David Ruddy can contest, can agree with this because he's the best shot stopper in the whole club for shooting practice, that he's one of the best strikers of a football in the whole club. And you can tell, but again, when he connects, when he gets it right, that thing flies, that thing motors towards goal, and I wouldn't want to get in the way of that thing.
No, but it's amazing technique, man, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just towed down, use your laces and hit the back of the ball, and that's what, with the ball technology these days, it's that could go anywhere in terms of movement off the ground, whatever. But yeah, I mean, with Tonali, Lewis Hall had another good, solid performance. You can go across the board, but those two are the real standouts. And move on to the 5th round of the FA Cup. We're still in it. That's the nature of the beast of what we want, and that's we'll see what the draw brings. I don't care who we get, as long as it's somebody at home. But
yeah, we should make a guessing game on that, man.
it was never negative before the Tottenham, but it's more the performance-related things for me, the basics. That was what we needed to get back to in the 2 games that we've won. We've done basics well.
Is Tonali, in your eyes, the obvious replacement for Bruno? Because we know he's going to be out for probably about 8 weeks at least, possibly 10, depending on which media outlet you believe.
Yeah, depending on recovery and rehabilitation and what it is. For me, it's it's not yes or no, but if is the current state, yes, he is. But there's a big but. Once Louis Miley becomes fit, I think Louis Miley's a better 6 than an 8. So just swap them and then have them 2 in with the wrecking ball. That's Joe Linton. So and then you've got quite a very solid midfield 3 or whatever he wants to play. Play Tonali and Louis Miley together as a 4-2-3-1. He could do that. Now he's got options and choices. So for now, I would stick with Tonali in that holding role, or sitting beside somebody and just let everybody run forward, and I'll do everybody else's donkey work when we lose it.
What did you think of Walter Matthäus' performance on the midfield kind of thing?
Did you not hear what I just said? No. No, I thought his link-up play was good. It needs a little bit more work. He could shift the ball quicker. But there's a link between midfield of whoever's playing is the 9 is the central striker. I think his link-up play is a lot better, and he can tell why he's Germany's talisman in that area. So just give him a run of games in that role.
Okay, good stuff. Martin, I bet you were going mad at the officials as well, like everybody else.
Yeah, I think. Look, we'll come to them, I think, in a second. I think the match. I think. Look, all the lads have said pretty much what we all thought. We've been looking for a reaction. We got it. I think a couple of 2-3 key takeaways for me. I think on the pitch on Saturday, we saw 2 leaders. We saw Trippier step back up to what he was a couple of seasons ago, and he was directing, he was positive, he was leading that back line, he was ushering. But you also, at a point in the game, you had Dan Burn start to bollock people out of it. And for the first time in a handful of games, which I think I spoke about last week, was where were the leaders? Who's the leader on that pitch when we're slouching, when players are out of position, when they're pissing passes away? Who's that player that's going to step into the void and go, hey, not good enough, lad? And I think Dan Burn did that on Saturday, and I thought he did it extremely well. And I think between him and Trippier with the experience, but I think Burn, for me, was just a little bit above that. I think he led the team. I think it wasn't just the line. I think he led the team really well, in particular that midfield and defensive units. So I think, look, credit. I didn't think he got a lot of credit on Saturday night. I thought he deserved a good bit. I think the other thing for me, I agree with Kev. Howe's going to have some choices coming up between Miley and Bruno, Miley and Tonali. But I think Tonali is a really, really good 6. I think one of the other key takeaways was a few said on the show a couple of weeks back. If you don't get to goal, turn on it and shoot, you're not going to get no reward. And for the first time in a lot of games this season, we actually took a few pot shots from outside of the area, and they paid off. There was a good layoff, players running on, the pass and the timing of the pass, as Kev said and Alan said, Tonali was able just to step up 2 steps on that and hit it first time. There's no stopping that. If it's placed right and they keep the composure and keep the head up and over and the weight over the top of the ball, it's not going to fly away. And Tonali showed why he is such a class striker of the ball. I think for me, the other thing that came out of it was we've shown that 4-2-3-1 works. we've shown that Waldemar plays as a 10. He's not an out-and-out striker. He either plays to that left or he plays as a 10, as he does for Germany. So I think that worked well. I think, we've had a few questions around 4-2-3-1. Does it work? I thought we played really well when we were in that possession. I thought we played well in possession, out of possession. I thought our recovery runs were good, in particular from midfield. And I think the players that came on did a good job as well. So I think, look, Villa have been a really good team all season. Yeah. They didn't show up, and I was surprised. I thought it would probably be one of our tougher games. So to have gone away to Spurs and gone away to Villa Park and taken 2 wins, I think is a credit to those who've stepped up, to the tweaking and the changing. And look, I've had my say about Eddie Howe, but I'll be the first man to step back and congratulate him when things go right and we do something tactically that works well and we come away with the profits from what the hard work deserves. So I think overall that was great. I think the final takeaway from me from the physical game was, and a lot of people haven't spoke about it and not a lot of it in the press, was we came away from the game with no injuries. That's massive. It's massive. So I think there was loads and loads of positives, loads of positives to build with attitude and moving on to the next games. I think Al's right. Listen, Karabag are not going to be an easy game. I think if we can get something away from home and, then get something, even take the draw there and come back to St. James's under the lights, I think I'd be happy with that at this stage. But it was good to have no injuries. Players obviously coming back will get a bit of choice. I think on the officiating, I said to George and the lads when we were behind the screen earlier on, at what stage is a linesman going to step up and show some balls and go, hey, listen, you got it wrong? Like, okay, we don't have VAR at that stage in the cup. We know that. The decisions, are probably some of the worst. Certainly the handball from Digne he probably should have gone with a yellow and a red after that for the tackle. So it probably shouldn't have been there anyway. But the decision in the box is, as the lad said, is flabbergasting. I just don't know how you can get it so wrong. But the sad thing is, in the league, even with VAR, we're still seeing them wrong every single week. And it's destroying the game. So there's a massive argument for those who are VAR in and those who are VAR out. And there's probably a fine mix like Saturday's game where you're kind of going, Jesus Christ, I wish we had it. But then the Premier League game the following week are going, VAR's a load of crap. So it's where is the line? But it was really, really poor. A lot of people criticizing Villa, going, well, they knew that their 3 were offline, offside when Abraham scored. Sure, there's not one player from another team who's going to step up and go, sorry lads, hang on a minute, bit of honesty here. I was a mile offside, let's scrub that off. No one's going to do that. So if you don't have VAR, you kind of what's in it. But again, the linesman was right in the line of play for that goal. Does nothing.
It's a dead ball. It's literally
exactly. It's exactly. And then exactly. And then for the free kick into the arm, the linesman flags and the referee just does absolutely nothing. And I think the linesman is as much to blame as the error from the referee, because he can do something and he did nothing. And I think he's as much of a culprit as was Kavanagh. So I'm glad to see that team's been struck off, and I hope we don't see Kavanagh in the Premier League for a very long time, because I don't think he is a top-class referee at all. So, yeah, we'll take the positives. As Kev said, we're into the next round. Another game coming up shortly. So we go again. We're getting players back. So, let's keep that leadership and keep it going. So, yeah, good for me. And I will just say very finally before I wrap up, albeit, these shows come out pretty much every single night and the weekend, I will just say very, very much a thank you to Steve, because it is his birthday today. And I think as fans and people who get to come on this pod and other things that he does, I think we just need to take 2 minutes out to give the guy a bit of a round of applause and say happy birthday and thanks for putting all this contact out, even on nights when it is your birthday and you should be relaxing at home, young man. So thanks very much.
Thank you, mate.
Welcome.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Martin, just a quick one, Martin. Thanks for that,
yes,
man.
Mate.
I just want to say, I was talking about this as I often do when I'm out on my walks during the day and seeing people. Probably had a VAR conversation with everybody I've seen today, and as I just said, I don't understand why Newcastle United don't take the bull by the horns, especially after a game like that, and just drop a letter to the, an email to the FA, and all of these competitions. It's very simple how you fix this. You just basically say VAR comes into operation in the cup competitions when the league teams so the Premier League teams, the Championship teams come into a draw, whether it's the FA Cup or the League Cup. That's when VAR becomes part of it.
Yeah,
that would stop it. It would stop it. So at least we know
100%.
we don't have this problem now where there's no VAR in the third and fourth and fifth rounds. It's ridiculous. Just bring it back for the early rounds. In fact, those players who play for lower league clubs will well, it's an experience for them. But B, I would imagine all of these players who are at lower league teams, second division, third division, are all aspiring to be better players and might have to get used to VAR. So why don't they do that? I just don't understand.
I think it's either in or it's out, and I don't get it. If you look at, I don't know if there's, there probably isn't, but if there is, Mackham's watching. I thought Oxford was slightly unlucky with the penalty on Saturday against Sunderland. I think, and if there'd have been VAR, you probably would have got a different answer there as well. So I think, we're either using it under the FIFA and the FA guidelines and everything else, or you're not. And, we just seem to be this bit of kind of, it's in for this, it's out for that. And I think, I think Shearer, to be fair, Steve, I think made a really, really good point is, the refereeing teams have become so used to it. The game on Saturday night, you took away Kavanagh's comfort blanket. He didn't have a fella in his ear from Stockley Park going, well, hang on a minute, Chris, problem there. Was there? Oh, yeah, you got that completely wrong. All right, let's have a look. And I think what we're seeing, in particular with the cup games, is just how atrocious the refereeing standard in the game has become, and it needs fixed. And I think at some stage somebody has to step up and take a look at this and just go, right, it's not working. I love the idea of it, right? Don't get me wrong. I think it serves a purpose in the right way and the right place to stop clear and obvious errors and all of these things. But the misuse of it in Stockley Park and from four guys in a room that can't make a decision and take 7 minutes in some games to decide if it's in or out. Fuck me, lads. Come on. Get on with it. Like, make a decision, take it in or take it out. But like, do something with it, because for the average fan, I think it's ruining the game. I really do.
There's a bigger principle, Steve. Remember, this is the FA Cup, the oldest competition in the world. And one of the basic fundamentals of the FA Cup was that every team has the same starting position. In other words, when the little teams are in, there's no VAR. Well, that for me means there should be no VAR at all, because it alters the whole situation of the game. So I think typical of the FA and the Premiership, they have no sense of occasion or history at all.
Yeah. Okay, the FA Cup draw has started. The first team out of the draw is Fulham, and they will take on Southampton in the FA Cup fifth round. Might as well stick with it before we get to Ian, because I'm sure everybody at home will be sitting watching it as well. Next ball out is number 11, which is Port Vale or Bristol City, and they will take on, if they can stop messing about and just draw the ball, man, mate. Right, here we go. It's number 3, Sunderland. So Port Vale or Bristol City will have Sunderland. Good tricky tie that for the Mackhams, but they'll be happy with it as well, I'm sure. 13, Newcastle United, home draw, lads and lasses.
Woohoo!
Man
City.
Joe Cole is the man picking the ball out. It'll definitely be heated up, so he knows which one to pick. Number 14 is Man City.
Oh, I called it!
At home.
Oh, well, that was nice while it lasted, lads.
Tie of the round, but Newcastle against Man City at St James's Park is a different match to Manchester City versus Newcastle. Remember, there's no replays. It has to be finished on the day. That's a chance for revenge for knocking us out of the Carabao Cup, I think. That's a great tie. I'm safe to say that will be the televised game of the round. Leeds United, might as well stick with the rest of it, are at home. And Joe Cole is digging deep. And he has pulled out number 10, which is Norwich City. Leeds
That'll be a
versus
good
Norwich.
game.
Will be, aye. Played each other quite a few times in recent years in the Championship, of course. It's Ali McCoist, isn't it, who's chatting away. So they're obviously giving their opinion on what's going on.
Great stuff.
Next ball is out is number 9. Mansfield have got a home draw in the FA Cup 5th round. And they'll be hoping to get a big team at home. Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea still in there. Alternatively, they'd probably like to get Macclesfield or Brentford. But Mansfield have got number 6, which is Arsenal. What a great draw for Mansfield Town. There is the magic of the FA Cup there. That'll be another televised one. It will be. It'll be a good one. Okay, next ball is getting drawn out. Number 12, which is Wolves. Probably don't want an FA Cup run, but they've got one. And they're at home 2, as Joe Cole digs deep again. Number 1, Liverpool. Wolves versus Liverpool. That's Liverpool through to the quarterfinals.
My condolences, Dad.
Yes, definitely. Condolences to Magnus's dad with that FA Cup draw. I don't know. Wolves are down already. They might fancy themselves to get to the FA Cup final. Okay, last couple of games. Number 5 is Wrexham at home from the Championship, of course, aiming to be a Premier League team at some point.
Chelsea.
They have got Joe Cole's hoping he gets Chelsea. It's number 7. He's got Chelsea. Wrexham versus Chelsea.
Some would think this was a bit of a bent draw.
No, Disney Plus would have liked it with Pulisic better.
Balls were in the freezer, can't you?
Yeah, Kavanagh was nowhere near the draw. West Ham are at home to Macclesfield or Brentford. Okay, so that completes your FA Cup draw. Newcastle, Man City, if you're just tuning in. But Newcastle is at home, so that is good news. Okay, Ian, welcome back, mate. How are things at Shez Sutcliffe?
Good, yeah. Emily's 6 months pregnant last Friday, so we've been out pram shopping this weekend. So I just realised nowadays that a pram costs more than a frigging car, which is
good stuff.
Really interesting.
But
you don't have a pram anymore. You've got a pram system. Fuck me, man. Unbelievable.
No.
Anyway, back to real life, to football. Martin just said then before whether it's VAR in, VAR out. I think it's whether it's good refs in, shit refs out. That's what it should be. Like, talk about they kick them out for a day for a game and then they'll be back. That was the most piss poor performance I have ever seen by a team of officials. Like, the TV nearly went out of the window in the first half. I'm telling you, I was kicking the neighbours knew the football was on. It reminded them anyway that it was on. So it was just unbelievably bad. So unbelievably bad that you start thinking, am I dreaming this, or is every single game when we're getting stitched up and every single draw where we're getting stitched up? It's getting a bit much now. You can't have this much bad luck, you know what I mean? But anyway, we pulled it around. We didn't give him much of a choice. The red card, the only decision that the ref got right, he couldn't not give. The rest of it was absolutely terrible. So they get a solid 0 out of 10 for their pathetic effort. I thought we were brilliant. Murph wasn't great, but I thought everybody else on the pitch was brilliant. Trips was excellent for me. I think I looked at the stats before. Trips had 90 touches. Pardon me, in that game, 90 touches, and I think he was 20. The closest person was in the 70s, early 70s, I think, if I remember rightly, to that. So he had a hand in everything, and it was just exactly as a few people have said before. It was a masterclass in leadership from a few of our players. Leadership in the way that you mentioned, with obviously Big Dan as well as Trips. But I thought at the start of the game, I said I won't repeat exactly what I said, but we're up Pooh Creek without a paddle if Tonali doesn't come back and have at least a decent game, because he had, for me, he's been off his game completely. And I said we need Tonali to be Bruno today and just dictate everything from that midfield, and I thought he did that to the extent most of the game. I thought he was excellent, and obviously he's got a dig on him, but this second strike was unbelievable for me, So yeah, no, there was loads of good performances. Harvey Barnes had how many shots did he have? He had about 5 or 6 shots late on target, and didn't obviously get anything from that day. But I'm trying to think. Yeah, Big Nick in his proper position, which is a 10. That's where he needs to play, really. I know we didn't have much choice but to sign him, really. I think at that point we were just desperate to sign anyone who we could lump up front. But we've now learned that if we play the 4-2-3-1, he is the number 10 in that, and that's where he plays the best. So even if it is being used as a Big Nick's coming on, let's switch formation, or we're losing the game, we need to try something different, go 2 up top. I thought that works much better. The few games where we've seen him in a number 10, he looks a different player, links things together. And I don't even think he had the best game ever, but I just thought he just looks natural in that. Well, as natural as a 6'7" playmaker could look. He looks more natural himself in that role, you know. So, all in all, I thought it was a great performance from the Newcastle players. And the best performance of all, my favourite bit was the little rendition that we gave the Holt on the way out as we waved them all off. Ole, 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 fuck off. That was brilliant. So, yeah, I particularly enjoyed that. Was probably my favourite bit of the game, to be honest.
Good stuff. People asking where Jeff and Darren are. Are they out on a date? No, they're not out on a date. Jeff is not feeling too well, so he put his apologies in. Rex is fine. Jeff's just not feeling well. He said there's not much to talk about. And is that because we've won 2 games? I don't know. And Darren has had some bad news. Somebody hasn't got long to live in his family. He didn't embellish on it, but things aren't well for Darren on that score. But he will be back next week, and he put his apologies in and was asking after everybody. So that's where those 2 are. Chloe, you've done your usual. Halfway through the show, your screen goes black, but I know you can probably hear us. What were your views on the match, Chloe?
Oh, it's gone again. No, it's summing up what everyone has said. Like, I mean, Newcastle, they've made the comeback, haven't they? 3-1, and they brought that belief and momentum as the game progressed. I mean, the second half mentality shift over the tactics is what we're all talking about. And agreeing with the guys, Tonali's performance and his influence turned the game around. He didn't just score, but he changed the energy of the game, and he's left that statement with the fans. Obviously, again, as you said, the game was majorly influenced by decisions and, Villa being sent off before half time and no VAR, the huge restrictions for the offside goal. And especially the criticism, it's raised debates, from the fans again about the VAR being used earlier on in the FA Cup. But on paper, Newcastle looked more dominant, higher possession and expected goals and overall shots. But again, as you were saying, it's just that question whether it reflects, Newcastle's control or shows the impact of how much, the red card changed the game's balance. Mm-hmm. The late birthday goal again, we talked a few weeks ago on the podcast about no transfers, and, the goal just felt huge for fans, and it just shows the squad depth and, the beliefs in the players that it is growing. And beyond the performance, I mean, the game really showed, the change in fans' emotions. Newcastle supporters are believing in Eddie Howe and, the FA Cup. And whilst they're frustrated by referee decisions, it still remains positive despite, those frustrating atmospheres. So in the bigger picture and context, beyond the results itself, Newcastle FA Cups, the hopes are high and still alive. And I mean, it's great heading into the European fixtures. Again, the question is, Tonali's performance changed our expectations for the season? For me, yeah, I thought it was great. And as you said, it's what we've been waiting for. And again, yeah, the absence of the VAR early on is becoming, the talking point across matches that weekend. And, saying is it football more authentic or just frustrating the fans? I don't know. But overall, Newcastle's comeback, I think it was just shaped by the mentality of the players. And, like Tonali stepping up with no Bruno. Again, that's what I said we've been waiting for. And, controversial decisions and shifting fan emotion. I mean, it's leaving the bigger questions about the momentum and expectations and fairness in the FA Cup.
What did you make of Tonali's celebration and running towards Eddie Howe? Do you think that was a bit of a thank you for him, you know, backing him in the last couple of weeks when he's been out in front of the press talking about him being linked with a move in the summer, etc. That I felt that was quite symbolic, Chloe.
Yeah, 100%. And I think we could all relate to it and see how much it meant to them. And, you know, the fact that the first time we went to the fans, the second time to Eddie, it was a great moment to watch.
Yeah. Okay, great stuff. Thank you, Chloe. Pablo, last but by no means least, mate, on this. Good result. Two good results, mate. The Spurs game and the Villa game, both very important for different reasons. But a good week after that defeat against Brentford.
Yeah, just a quickie, mate, just to reiterate what you were saying before. I spoke to Daz and he wants to send his love to everyone. He's dealing with a family situation at the minute. He wanted to give me a quick synopsis for him as how he felt. He thought we were all right in the first half. He was a little bit disappointed we didn't, we looked toothless in the first half. He was in agreement with probably everyone on here. It's the worst refereeing performance he's seen, but also massively chuffed with the way we come back and we delivered a win. He's setting off to Karabag tomorrow. He's going up to Edinburgh to fly to Istanbul, to fly over to Karabag with a couple of lads who we know. So good luck, Daz, and much love.
All the best. All the best to Darren, man.
He does. Thinking of you, man.
So, sorry, Steve, to get back to that. Yeah, phenomenal week. It's easy. I think probably with the month that we've had, it's very easy to listen probably to Eddie Howe, who is a great communicator. He's always positive. It's easy to listen to Eddie, to listen to positivity coming out from players, but then you don't see it on a Saturday afternoon. And what we've seen this week is heartwarming. It's fantastic. Everyone is together. Everyone's pulling in the same direction. These things happen in life and football. You go through good times and bad times. And what I keep thinking is, with the talk of Eddie and the way he's kind of conducting himself, we don't want to end up in a situation where we're a Nottingham Forest 4 managers in a year. Yeah, so exactly. Kudos to Eddie, kudos to the lads and the fans and everybody sticking by it, you know, and hopefully we're over that little bump in the road now. Moving on to the Villa game, you know, I'll back up what everyone said and everybody's covered every angle really. So I'm only glossing over what people have said, but that is, I mean, I thought the worst refereeing performance I'd seen was away at Paris Saint-Germain. You know, I thought that was rigged to death. And then what unfolded Saturday, the chain of events and just the simplistics of the errors. I mean, we talk about a referee. It's not just the referee. It's a team of officials, 2 lines people, 1 referee and 1 fourth official who's usually just there to fluff the manager's bum on the way past. But collectively between them, they didn't have the responsibility, the nous, the intelligence to call proper decisions. And we could talk about VAR, you know, as much as we do, and whether you're for it or against it. Unfortunately, we've dug ourselves into a reliant position now where, I mean, we're all sat here related tonight. Imagine if it was the wrong way around. That'd be like the worst thing we've ever witnessed, because it was sickeningly corrupt. You know, I'm going to call it out for what it is. It's incompetent, and it was almost corrupt. So VAR is here to stay, but those refereeing decisions, that, you know, they were dog and duck football stuff. You know, that's the kind of stuff when you're half pissed on a Sunday morning and referees.
It looked personal. You know, it looked personal.
It's unbelievable. But, you know, we've had a few of them in this Man City's row tonight, but we won't go on to that. But I think the game, I would, you know, the guys have said, and I was surprised when Alan said about the stats, you know, for the first half, because I'll be honest, I wasn't as confident as what you guys seem above and next to me, because I thought the first half, having gone 1-0 down, I thought we were looking toothless, we were looking good, we were looking competitive, but I thought it was going to be one of them nights again. I didn't think Asula was going to pull anything out of the bag for us, you know. I think we were grinding through the gears, and thank God that goalkeeper's an absolute moron. I mean, talk about football intelligence. What is that all about? Why would you put your team under that much pressure? But thank God that happened. But that's the turning point. Then you play the cards that you dealt them, don't you? And what we did after that, we didn't panic. We didn't kind of go within ourselves. We didn't overplay it. We didn't overpush it. We kind of let the night unfold. We grew into the game. We were confident. Tonali was I mean, them finishes from Tonali are sublime, absolutely sublime. And there's not really much more I can tell you. I'll go on Walter Marder. He looked more comfortable playing in that area. I don't think he was amazing by any stretch, but he looked better than what I usually see. So that's about as much as I can say at the minute. And I hope that that is a stepping stone for him to build and build. Thank God that Villa defender passed it onto his shin so he could score. Only kidding. Before the haters start, I'm only kidding. Oh, just an absolute fantastic week. And I'm so happy for everyone involved, footballers, fans, everyone in Newcastle, when we go on to the next. But talk Man City in that draw. Come on, give us a break, someone.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's the hardest draw of the lot. You see all the other top teams have got, like easier games. It is a signal, like.
But let's just remember what that stat said. The winner of every time Newcastle have played Villa in the FA Cup, the winner of the tie has gone on to win it. Let's try and be positive about it. And we're at home. It's got to be finished at home. There's no getting a draw. City have got to come and play. If they want to play, it's St James's. Newcastle United have got the hex on Man City at home at least. We'll have there's been some wins for Man City, but it's let's just stay positive on it. It's not over yet. That's for certain, and we're going to win the Champions League anyway, lads, aren't we?
Yeah,
exactly. Right, we've just got time to get your predictions for Qarabağ, so we'll start with you, Pablo, mate, because you had to wait. Give us your thoughts on Qarabağ and Man City, of course, because we won't be back until next Monday. So Man City in the league. Give us your two predictions for those two games.
I'm going to go a 2-1 win at Qarabağ. Sod it. We get the air miles in, we get the duty free in, and we get a 2-1 win. Not a problem.
Well, I've got 1-0. I've got 1-0 for Qarabağ. I'll do after the last two games, those two away games. We've got that knack and we've got that monkey off our back of winning away games. And I do think we can go to Qarabağ and put in a professional performance. And I think we can get a 1-0 win. And the Champions League form has been quite good compared to the Premier League form. It's been more consistent, should I say. For the Premier League fixtures, I think if we get 3 away wins on the belt like we have, I think it gives us, and people won't like us saying it, but it gives us a free hit at Man City. Man City away is not going to determine where Newcastle finish in the Premier League. Newcastle will obviously want to go there and give themselves a better performance. But now that we've been drawn against them and against the FA Cup, that's going to play its part as well, I think, with Newcastle and the way they're set up. But yeah, I've taken the glory away from you there, Pablo. You've gone for a 2-1 win against Qarabağ. What are you going to say about Man City?
I want a nice tidy draw, a little 2-2er.
A little 2-2er. Okay, Chloe, what about you? Qarabağ first and then Man City.
Yeah, first I agree. I think it's going to be 2-1, but Man City, I might be a bit too much here, but I'm thinking it's about time, maybe 2-0.
Newcastle to win?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, go on, Chloe.
I'm going to go for it.
Go for it. Why not? Ian?
I'll have a Penman for the first game and a Desmond for the second game. So 3-1 and a 2-2.
All right, yeah. Congratulations to Stu Penman, by the way, at the weekend. I mean, if you're going to put 3-1 on every single game, the law of averages says you're going to get it eventually. So he finally got some money back at the weekend. It was good news for him. Martin, the two games, how do you see them going, mate?
Well, I think the first thing is Penman's 3-1. The clock's twice right in a day, Steve. So, that's all I'll say. But fair play to him. Yeah, I think Qarabağ away. I'm gonna go for a 2-0. I think we're gonna get a win over there. I think City. Oh man, I never feel confident down there, and we've got such an awful record. So I'm gonna unfortunately be the voice, a little bit of doom and gloom. I'm sorry, lads, but I'm gonna go for a 2-0 City win. Sorry.
2-0 City win. Okay, Kevin.
Yeah.
2-0 against Qarabağ, and I think. Performance-wise, the way we've been playing, I think we might just I'll go with a 1-1. I'll take a 1-1 and get out of there as quickly as possible.
All right. Alan, I sense a dose of realism about the second game, but let's go for your first game.
I think it'll be one. I'm going for a 1-1 at Qarabağ. I think it'll be a tight game and a hard game, Steve. And I'll go 3-1 to us against City. It's got to change sometime.
Wow,
Wow.
They're good
Go
for the
on,
title.
Alan.
They're
Hey.
good for the title.
Hey, lads,
And
I
Arsenal
promise I haven't paid him.
fans think we're going to get
I
beat
haven't
5-0
paid him.
anyway.
Yeah.
Arsenal
Let's see if
fans think
Penman
we're going
puts
to get
that one
beat
on.
5-0 anyway, so why not?
Alan, it's you. It's me who's supposed to be drunk on my birthday, not you.
This is AI, Alan, definitely. Someone in the
It's AI.
AI, Alan, he's in black and white. Alan, he needs a frigging sunbed.
Welcome back, Ian.
What do you think? I'm putting £10,000 on Man City to win on Saturday.
We need a clip, it says Dave. Magnus.
Yeah, we didn't get Rex on the show, so Glacier says hello.
Hey!
Just to-
Hold on. I've got to get a zoom in. Get the dog up again. There we go.
Hey! He says hello to all the Newcastle fans.
It's a Steve
And he runs at you. All right. I was going to say. Anyway, with regards to the game tomorrow, if Liverpool can beat them 6-0 at home, I'm feeling pretty confident, because Liverpool is not that great team. So we are going to beat them 4-0 away from home. And with regards to Man City at the weekend, I was laughing with my son because he supports Man City. I was laughing with him, saying we may end up playing 7 times this season because we're probably going to draw against them also in the Champions League. I would be happy with a draw, but I'm going to go for the win because I can't have the little bastard beat me every time. So it's 2-1 to us at the weekend.
Okay, George. Yeah, I bet you're George. You've had your thunder stolen with some positive.
Absolutely. I'm usually the happy clappy, and I'm the miserable one tonight. So a bit of history for you. Baku is a big shipbuilding area, and lots of the shipyard managers are ex-students of Newcastle University. Quite a lot of whom I know. So I'm expecting lots of emails telling us what's happening at the game. So there'll be quite a number of Geordies in the crowd, probably in the away end as well as the home end rather, as well as the away end. So 3-0 will beat Carabao at their place, and on Saturday at Manchester City, I think we'll sneak a 2-1 win.
Go on, George.
Good stuff.
There we go.
A positive show from everyone. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Back tomorrow with Sid and Rob at 1 o'clock. Rob's still buzzing after meeting his hero, Gaza. Thanks to everybody, by the way, who came along to the Gaza, Beardsley and Waddle event. Paul Gascoigne was in great nick, which I think you all saw from the photographs. And we did manage as well with a golden ticket to raise £500 for Age UK North Tyneside Dementia on the night as well, which was being gratefully received by them. But back tomorrow, 1 o'clock. I'm off to have a little drink for my birthday. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Happy birthday, mate.
Happy birthday, Steve.
21 again.
Bye, everyone.
The return of the Entertainers is a walking football match that takes place at Gateshead Leisure Centre on Saturday, the 6th of June 2026, in aid of Age UK North Tyneside. Sponsored by Shout Digital and Darren Baldwin Funerals. Tickets available from our website or from Woucher. There's also an opportunity for you to play in the game, either with or against the legends. Go to our website, nufcmatterspodcast.co.uk, for more details. 29th of January 2027 sees an evening with Beardsley, Cole and Ferdinand at the Tyne Theatre and Opera House, hosted by John Gibson. Tickets are on sale now from the box office 0191 243 1171 or tynetheatreandoperahouse.uk or directly from us at our website. Northern Horizon is a Blake 7 convention in aid of Age UK North Tyneside. Tickets available from our website. And Rebel Base Northeast, the Star Wars fan convention, Sunday the 2nd of August at the Copthorne Hotel. Tickets available on our website. The Craze, Fred Dinage, Ronnie, Reggie and me takes place at the Tyne Theatre and Opera House, box office 0191 243 1171, or Tyne Theatre and Opera House.uk. That takes place Wednesday, the 11th of November at 7:30. We've also got some books available on our website. Will Scott's popular entertainers book, 92 to 97, Kevin Keegan's Legacy, is available now. And The Promoter and the Photographer, 25 years of bringing the stars to Tyneside, all proceeds going to Age UK. All books available, nufcmatterspodcast.co.uk. A big thanks to all our sponsors, Skips and Bins. You can find them at their website, skipsandbins.com, or contact them, www.skipsandbins.com/contact. Say hello to low-cost waste disposal with pay-as-you-go and contract waste management. A big thanks to United Group Travel, our fanzine sponsor. There are no strangers on our tours, just friends you haven't met yet. 2-crew driver and courier, local family company, 3-star plus quality hotels and no interchanges. Hot and cold snacks and drinks available on the coach. All excursions included. Their website, www.unitedgrouptravel.com. Email beverly.ugtl@gmail.com, or telephone 01670 632 460, or mobile 0791 666 4174. Deposits from £50 per person. A big thanks to Media Arts. Their website, www.media-arts.co.uk. Email info@media-arts.co.uk, or telephone 0191 637 5061. If you want to help support the channel, then you can click the subscribe button. We still do 7 shows a week. It is free. Hit the thumb up to like the video, and click share to share to your social media. A big thanks to Sports Social Podcast Network. You can listen to us on the road, on this network, or by tuning into iTunes, Spotify, or other podcast providers. You can also join the channel by hitting the join button on YouTube, or go to our website, nufcmatterspodcast.co.uk. You can pay a one-off fee of £25 and you'll receive a membership card, a beer mat, a fridge magnet, a key ring, a badge, and a pen. £25, nufcmatterspodcast.co.uk.